Hey guys, Drew here, bringing you guys a new video. It's going to be a bit different today because I'm going to be talking about something that was announced on the JP Twitter, Azur Lane Twitter, as well as the Weibo for the CN server. So I've been meaning to put out a video about the whole PR system and its current state, how it's really not good for new players. It really discourages them when they're so far behind. There's very little catch-up mechanics. The goalposts are continuously moving with the constant addition of new generations of PR ships. So a new player will realistically never be able to catch up with the current system as it is. And I've been meaning to put out a video about it. You know, it's telling about my gripes and offering suggestions on how to fix them. And then just yesterday, this was announced. So these are some huge changes coming to the whole PR system as a whole, including catch-up mechanics for new players, and even just casual everyday players will be able to catch up in DR and even the rainbow gun stuff. So let's go through the changes one by one and see what they have in store for us. So the first change here is there will be new missions for combat data packs. Now currently there are already existing missions for combat data packs. They're going to be including more, I believe. As we know, combat data packs are items that you can either exchange for proto cores in order to be able to use in the proto shop to get more blueprints, or you can exchange them for the equivalent of I believe 10,000 per pack XP going towards a ship. In my opinion, you should not be using them as combat experience replacements. The opportunity cost is blueprints, so make sure that you're saving them or using them towards proto cores such that you can buy more blueprints for other ships. So we knew about that. That was nothing new. They're just going to add more stuff, more combat data pack missions, so we're able to get more cores and be able to buy more blueprints for ships that were missing. So that's a small catch-up mechanic. For the new missions will be coming out, you'll also be able to get PR2 blueprints, including 30 shown DR blueprints. So again, a small catch-up push there for PR1 and PR2. On the other side here, we see all the PR3 ships, and this is actually announcing that PR3 will be getting Fate Sim, except for the DRs. So all PR rarity PR3 ships will be getting Fate Sim. This was kind of expected. Every time a new generation of PR comes out, we do get Fate Sim for the previous generation. So PR will be getting Fate Sim. The DRs will not. So Drake will not be getting Fate Sim, just as FDG and Azuma haven't quite yet. If we go to the next page here, we can see that they are completely overhauling the PR1 enhancement system. So instead of using blueprints, you can now just use gold to enhance the dev level of your PR1 ships, which is huge. It is a huge catch-up mechanic. New players will not need, or even current players that have, you know, moved on to further PR generations will not need to farm and do tasks for PR1 ships anymore. You're able to just use gold. I believe you get certain amount of daily free enhancements, discounted enhancements, and then the price goes up the more you do it per day. But if you just spread it out over the course of time, you will be able to use very little gold in order to get to the point where you'll be able to have your dev level 30 ships. And this includes Fate Sim enhancements as well. So you'll be able to get all the PR1 ships Fate Sim 5 if you wanted to without spending a single blueprint anymore, because you'll be able to use gold, which is really nice. They're essentially relieving new players and current casual players of the need to farm PR1. Getting these ships to dev 30 without having to use the tasks and just being able to use gold is a huge upgrade. So this is a great mechanic to be able to work on PR1 without having to be at the mercy of RNG, without having to be at the mercy of your tasks, and being able to just work on PR2, 3, or 4 without having to worry about PR1 anymore. So that's really good. It was not sustainable, the current system, in terms of continuously adding new generations of PR ships. You would be continuously behind. Making the oldest one here, in this case PR1, gold only without having to worry about the research is going to be huge, and will be an awesome way to introduce new players to how PR ships work, in the fact that you're going to give them these 6 ships that will only require gold, and then like, okay, now you have to start, you know, doing your tasks, working on the blueprints. But it's going to be so much easier for new players to get off to a good start, off and running with good ships such as Monarch, you know, Neptune, Ibuki, Rune, Saint Louis, an honorable mention to Azumo. But they're going to be really good, and this is a great way to introduce new players to PR, so they're not totally overwhelmed with the amount of time they're going to have to use in order to get these ships going. So a great improvement for PR1. Secondly, here you see the face tasks. So the ones that have a specific ship on them, they will no longer drop any other ship blueprint except for the one that's on the task. So when you pick a Kitakaze task, in this case in the picture, you will only get Kitakaze blueprints. A total amount of blueprints will be lower, but you will only get Kitakaze blueprints. So let's say you know, if you do a 5-hour, maybe you'll get maybe 2 Kitakaze blueprints, and then maybe like 1 of 3 other ships. So in total for 5. Instead Instead, you will get maybe 3 or 4 Kitakaze blueprints only, no other blueprints of any kind, which is really nice if you're just trying to focus on one ship so you can move on. And then that way you're also going to be able to avoid getting these useless blueprints for, you know, maybe ships you're not interested in or ships that you've already gotten to Dev 30 or Fate Sim 5. But in this case, that doesn't matter anymore because there's going to be a new system in which if you have a ship at Dev 30 without having started Fate Sim, or if you have a ship at Fate Sim 5, you will not be getting any more blueprints of that ship, which is, again, another huge quality of life improvement, especially for players that, you know, have multiple Fate Sim 5 ships or trying to Fate Sim their other ships, and they're just continuously getting these blueprints for ships that they already have Fate Sim 5. They're completely useless. Yeah, you can transfer them into proto cores, but that's not super efficient. But now, with this quality of life improvement, once again, you are able to get a ship to either Dev 30 without starting Fate Sim, and you won't get any blueprints for that ship, or you can start Fate Sim, get it to Fate Sim 5, and once you get it to Fate Sim 5, you will not be getting any more blueprints of that ship. So that's super nice to be able to just not worry about getting useless blueprints that you don't need. So once again, another great quality of life improvement coming in here. Again, you not only will you not get the blueprints for these ships, but you'll also not get the tasks for them anymore, which is great. Once again, you don't have to waste the task slot with a useless ship that you've already gotten either Dev 30 or Fate Sim 5 and, you know, have a wasted slot that could have been something else that would be useful. So once this is a great improvement. We're also going to get a PR2 catch up of 300 PR blueprints across all PR2 ships and 150 DR blueprints for each Azuma and FDG, which is amazing. This is awesome. 300 PRs, 150 for each DR. If you're still waiting for those few blueprints in order to max out those ships, so it's going to be huge amounts of catch up. Not only do you have to not worry about PR1, but PR2 is going to give you a ton of blueprints in order to get up and go in and have a strong start for PR2 or finish them off if you're already almost done, especially with those DRs. 150 blueprints for each is huge. So I'm really looking forward to those catch up blueprints. I'm really close to finishing my FDG personally, so I'll be really close, and I'll probably be able to get basically all of them to Fate Sim 5 myself. So I'm super excited. Huge catch-up amount of blueprints. Finally, a good amount of blueprints that isn't just 30. A good amount that will be able to spread across all of PR2, including the DRs. So I'm really excited to get those blueprints. Lastly, in terms of Rainbow Gun catch-up, the 457mm, the Rainbow Gun from PR2, will be added to the Proto Core shop, which is fantastic news. Not only are you getting 300 PR blueprints, not only are you getting 150 DR blueprints for each FDG and Azuma, you will be able to finish off the Rainbow Gun using Proto Cores. So you will essentially have no reason to be using PR2. You can just focus on PR3 and PR4 if need be. And honestly, this is fantastic. They've really covered all of the bases. They covered newer players with PR1 being gold only. They covered casual and moderate everyday players that have played for a while with the PR2 catch-up, and now the Rainbow Gun as well on top of that, setting a really good foundation for players to not have to worry about catching up with the previous generations and just working on the new ships, the PR3 ships and the new upcoming PR4 ships. So I am super excited. This is what I was looking for, exactly what I wanted. I've been really disappointed in the way the PR system has been handled, and with the announcement of PR4, I was like, man, they really have to do something to rework the system. And man, did Yostar and Manju deliver. They really put a good system together. You don't have to worry about PR1 anymore. You can just use gold to enhance. You don't have to worry that much about PR2 anymore. We're getting 300 catch-up PR prints and DR 150 for each DR for PR2. Catch-up prints, Fate Sim 5, once again, Dev 30 or Fate Sim 5 ships will no longer show up blueprints, so you can start getting more useful blueprints that, aren't for ships that you've already maxed out, and the face researches will only give you the blueprints for that ship. So it allows you to focus more on specific ships if that's what you want, and not have to worry about, getting screwed over by RNG and you getting one Kitakaze print in your 5-hour research. But don't worry about it, you got 2 Gascone prints, so it's all good. I'm super happy with these changes. I'm so glad that Manju finally addressed these issues, because this has been an issue for quite a while, I think, for new players coming in. But these changes are huge. These changes are great. I'm super excited. I don't know if they're perfect, but they're a huge improvement on what the old system was. Hopefully we'll be able to see these changes rolled out soon enough, and also a proper English translation. But for now, I wanted to get this video out so you guys would be able to to see what the future is looking like for PR. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you guys like what you see, please feel free to hit that like button, the subscribe button. I also stream on Twitch 3 times a week. I stream Azur Lane at twitch.tv/Jurdo1. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe.